Hi, this is Jim Urban. I'm with Urban Companies Real Estate here in Denver, Colorado. Our office is in Lakewood and Highlands Ranch. And I'm here to talk to you about the National Association of Realtors, the lawsuits that have taken place, the changes that are bound to happen by July 1st, 2024 this year. And I have some thoughts I want to share directly with my friends and my neighbors, and especially my clients, my people that I've worked with in the past. I've been in the business now for 40 years, full time, worked really hard to help a lot of people. And I was just at the gym this morning, and somebody came up to me, a couple of people came up to me and asked me about this. I was in the grocery store, the same thing happened. So I figured I better get some information out there to give you my perspective from my perspective of what's going on. First of all, there's a lot of things that in life that we can't control. And one of the things that we can't control as a result of this lawsuit is they're going to take the cooperation fee, the fee that gets paid to the buyer agent that's normally publicized in the multiple listing service, the MLS. They're going to be taking that out. That doesn't mean that we can't offer a cooperation fee to a buyer's agent. It just means that it's not going to show up anymore. And it makes it sound like that there is not going to be a fee paid to the buyer broker anymore, but that is not true. We can certainly offer that fee, and that fee might be published in other locations, like it might be published on one of our websites, or more than likely, I think what makes a lot more sense is we have a showing service that we use. There's a couple of them here in town. We use the one called Showing Time. We could publicize our cooperation fee there, or we possibly could even publicize that cooperation fee to the buyer agents in the confidential broker remarks. So all of those things are kind of up in the air and how that's all going to come down. But that's the big change. When you sell a home, you need to decide how much or if you're going to pay a cooperation fee to a buyer agent. Now, this is the way that we've been doing it for decades. My dad started real estate, by the way, in 1961. And back in 1961, that's the way they did it, all the way up until now. And I don't think it's going to change just because that is not publicized in the MLS anymore. So when we sit down and talk to you in our initial consultation, we're going to put together a plan. I'm going to help you devise a plan. And my theory is that the more generous that you are, the more likely you're going to get more showings from agents, especially if there's houses out there that are not willing to pay their buyer agents. And if you're a buyer and you're going to be buying a home and you want an agent to help you out, which is typically what happens, right? More than ever, we're going to be sitting you down and talking to you about a buyer agency agreement because we want to represent you, a fiduciary, in your best interest. We're also going to be talking about in that document on how much you're going to be paying your agent to help you find that home. And we're going to do everything we can, like we've always done, to get paid by the seller. But if you find the perfect home and that seller is not paying any or little brokerage fee, and it's less than what we talked about as our bottom line fee for me to help you, then you might have to make up the difference if you want that home. Or if we offer more in price, we might be able to negotiate that way. Or if your lender is willing to finance the brokerage fee so that you can pay your broker out of that, that's a possibility. So that's where the confusion lies, is how is that all going to be coming together? Well, as your experienced pit bull negotiator, I'm going to be there for you to help you figure all of that out. I have a lot of confidence. I've been doing this for 40 years. I'm practically up to 2,000 home sales in my career. We're going to figure this thing out. We're going to make it work. Again, I can't emphasize enough that if you're selling your home, the more generous you are in paying the co-op fee. In fact, just this morning, a neighborhood just across a street over here on the west side here in Littleton, just the east side of Wadsworth, a listing popped up just this morning, advertising a cooperation fee of 2.8%, which is pretty common here in Denver. We've seen some cooperation fees a little less than that, depending on if it's a new home being sold or even if it's a resale. That number can fluctuate. So we'll have to see what happens. I want you to really think about like what's driven the real estate market and how realtors have been paid in the past. You know, typically it's a lot easier for a seller to actually pay the realtor through the equity of their home, which is one of the reasons why they actually get a more generous price if they're willing to pay the cooperation fee to the buyer agent. All right, so it's all going to be about negotiations more than ever, in my opinion. You know, think about this also. Buyers don't necessarily, especially first-time home buyers, don't necessarily have the extra cash out of their pocket just to pay that agent. It's hard enough for them to come up with a down payment and the closing costs that they're going to have to pay to get into a house. So it's worked really well in the past. And so we're going to try to do everything we can to keep that system working the way we've been working it for so long. And you want to be represented. You want to be represented by the realtor that you trust, the realtor that you like, the realtor that you love, and that you want, and you know that's going to look out for you and cover you and negotiate like that pit bull negotiator. So these are my thoughts. I really wanted to share with you since I keep getting questions asked about this. And I want you to know that I have all the confidence in the world that I'm going to be here for you for years to come. You guys have a wonderful day. Please don't keep me a secret and don't let any of this concern you about your future dreams and needs. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.